I'm Sienna Bishop, and I'm 33 years old. Last Tuesday night, I was lying on my couch, scrolling through Instagram, when my cousin Bryn's story stopped me cold. It was a photo of an invitation, ivory cardstock, elegant gold calligraphy, and a delicate fairy-light border for a birthday celebration at the Ashford Estate on September 14th. My birthday. Our birthday. Yet the invitation bore only one name: Lauren Elizabeth Bishop, my younger sister. My family had rented a $12,000 venue for her 30th on the exact day we've shared for 3 decades, and nobody told me. Not my mother, not my father, not Lauren. When I called my mom, she said 5 words I'll never forget. We can only afford one party. She could afford $12,000, just not a single line with my name on it. So I threw my own birthday party, and my guest list included one person who made my sister call me screaming at 2 in the morning. Before I take you back to that night, please take a moment to like and subscribe, and drop your location and local time in the comments. I love knowing where you're listening from. Now, let me take you back to the moment I realized 33 years of waiting for fairness was 33 years too many. September 14th has always belonged to both of us. I was born in 1993, Lauren in 1996. Same date, 3 years apart. You'd think sharing a birthday with your sister would mean splitting the spotlight. You'd be wrong. Every year the party was ours, but every year the theme was Lauren's. The guest list was Lauren's. The attention was Lauren's. I was just the older sister standing near the cake. When I turned 10, I begged for a space-themed party. I'd been obsessed with the solar system all summer and had glow-in-the-dark stars taped across my ceiling. Lauren, who was 7, wanted a princess party. My mother didn't even hesitate. Lauren's younger, Sienna. You can do space next year. Next year never came. I spent my 10th birthday in a too small Cinderella dress, watching Lauren twirl in her tiara while our grandmother handed her a second slice of cake. When I turned 16, I asked for one thing: dinner with my 2 best friends at the Italian place downtown, just the 4 of us. My mother had already booked a bounce house for Lauren, who was turning 13. Your sister's been looking forward to this all month. I ate cold pizza in the kitchen while Lauren and her friends screamed with joy in the backyard. When I turned 21, I suggested splitting the day: brunch for me, dinner for Lauren. My mother sighed like I'd asked her to choose between her children. Why do you always have to make things complicated, Sienna? So we did dinner. Lauren's friends, Lauren's playlist, Lauren's favorite restaurant. I had 2 glasses of wine and drove myself home before dessert. I never complained. I told myself that wanting to be seen wasn't the same as deserving to be, that if I was patient enough, quiet enough, good enough, they'd notice on their own. They never did. And then I saw that invitation. Here's what you need to know about Lauren and me right now. I'm an accountant in a mid-sized firm in town. I pay my own rent, drive a 10-year-old Honda, and haven't asked my parents for money since I was 18. I put myself through college on a scholarship and 2 part-time jobs. Nobody threw me a party for that either. Lauren works, well, worked, though I didn't know the full truth yet, in marketing. She lives in an apartment my mother helped her lease. She drives a car my mother co-signed. When her credit card balance got too high last spring, my mother covered it. None of this bothers me. What bothers me are the phone calls. Every Sunday my mother calls me, and every Sunday the conversation is the same. Lauren got promoted. Lauren's seeing someone new. He's a dentist. Lauren needs a little help with her car payment this month. The call lasts 12 minutes. 11 are about Lauren. The last minute is my mother saying, "Well, I should let you go. Love you, honey." The last time my mother asked about my life, specifically about mine, not as a segue to Lauren, was 4 months ago. And the question was, "Can you lend your sister $300? She's between paychecks." I don't resent Lauren for being loved. I resent that love in my family seems to come in a fixed quantity, and Lauren gets the whole supply. My mother doesn't hate me. I figured that out a long time ago. Hating someone requires you to think about them. My mother simply doesn't think about me at all. I exist in the margins of her life, a footnote in a book that's entirely about Lauren. That's the part that's hard to explain. Being ignored doesn't leave a bruise, it just leaves a silence where a voice should be. It's a Wednesday night, the kinds where nothing's supposed to happen. I'm on my couch in pajama pants, half watching a baking show, scrolling Instagram with my thumb on autopilot. Bryn's story pops up. My cousin, 28, the one who still tags me in memes at midnight. I tap it expecting something light. It's a photo of an invitation. Ivory cardstock, gold foil border, calligraphy so precise it looks machine cut. You're invited to celebrate Lauren Elizabeth Bishop's 30th birthday, the Ashford Estate, September 14th. Cocktail attire. RSVP to Diane Bishop. My mother is hosting. My mother is the RSVP. September 14th, my birthday too, for 33 years running, and the invitation has one name on it. One. No Sienna, no footnote, no afterthought. I sit up on the couch. The baking show keeps going. Someone's piping buttercream roses. I stare at the invitation on my phone for 10 minutes without blinking. My chest doesn't ache. My eyes don't sting. I just feel a strange, heavy clarity, like a door I've been pushing against for years just clicked shut from the other side. They didn't forget. Forgetting is accidental. This was a decision. Someone designed that invitation, chose the font, typed Lauren's full name, and never once thought to add mine. My mother proofread it. She approved it. She mailed it. Bryn texts me 20 minutes later. Hey, did you get your invite yet? I just realized. I type back, no, I didn't. 3 dots appear. Then, oh my God, Sienna. I set my phone face down on the cushion. The baking show host says something about layers. I pick up my phone again and call my mother. This time, I'm not going to be quiet. She picks up on the second ring, her voice bright and distracted. Oh, hi, honey. I was just finishing the seating chart for... She stops. Mom, I saw the invitation. Silence. 1 second, 2, 3. I can hear her breathing shift. For September 14th, my birthday. It's Lauren's 30th, Sienna. It's a milestone. It's also my 33rd. Same day it's always been. We can only afford one party, you understand. You spent $12,000 on a venue. That's Lauren's 30th. That's different. Different how? A 30th birthday is special? Was my 30th special? Because I spent it at your house eating leftover lasagna while Lauren opened presents. She exhales, that sharp, annoyed breath she does when she feels cornered. Lauren has been through a lot this year with her promotion and everything. I'm not going to apologize for celebrating my daughter. Your daughter? I repeat. You have 2. I know that, Sienna. I'm not in the mood for your dramatics. When am I dramatic, Mom? Name one time I've made a scene. Just one. Nothing. She's got nothing. I don't want to fight about this, she says, and then she hangs up. I stand in my kitchen holding a dead phone, listening to the click echo through my apartment. That's it. That's the entire conversation. No explanation, no guilt, no pause where she realizes what she's done. Just her favorite word for me, dramatic, and a dial tone. She doesn't call back. She never calls back. But this time, something is different, because I don't call back either. The next morning, Bryn calls me before I finished my coffee. Sienna, I need to tell you something. Her voice is low, the way people speak when they're delivering bad news they didn't cause. I was on the phone with Aunt Susan last night, and she mentioned the party. She said Mom told her you're not coming because of a work deadline. I set my mug down. I was never invited, Bryn. I know, but that's not the worst part. She pauses. Mom told the whole family you prefer to keep to yourself and that you don't really enjoy family events. She said you sent Lauren your love and wished you could be there. I haven't spoken to Lauren in 2 weeks. I know. I stand at my kitchen counter and let that sink in. My mother didn't just exclude me, she built a cover story. She manufactured a version of me, cooperative, busy, understanding Sienna, who cheerfully opted out and sent her blessings from a distance. A version that asks no questions and causes no discomfort. If I stay quiet, that version becomes real. Every aunt, uncle, and cousin at that party will walk away thinking Sienna chose not to come. Sienna's always been the independent one. Sienna doesn't need this stuff. And year after year, the fiction cements. I'm not the daughter who was left out. I'm the daughter who left. Bryn, I say, she's not just ignoring me, she's rewriting me. Bryn doesn't argue. She doesn't try to soften it. She just asks, "What are you going to do?" I look at the calendar on my wall, September 14th, circled in red with a little heart I drew in January. I've drawn that heart every year since college. I'm going to stop letting someone else tell my story. I try Lauren first, a simple text. "Hey, can we talk about the birthday?" She reads in at noon, no reply. At 3, still nothing. At 6, I'm pacing my apartment, telling myself I'm not checking my phone every 4 minutes, when I absolutely am. Her reply lands at 6:47 p.m. "Mom said you were busy with work. It's fine, Sienna. Don't make this weird." Don't make this weird. Like I'm the one who made it weird? Like I'm the one who printed invitations to our shared birthday and left off half the people who share it? I call my father, Greg Bishop, 60 years old, retired postal worker, world-class conflict avoider. He answers with the voice of a man who already knows why I'm calling and wishes I hadn't. "Your mother handles the planning, sweetheart." "There was no invitation for me, Dad." He sighs, long, slow, practiced. "I'll talk to her." He won't. We both know it. He's been talking to her for 33 years, and the only thing that's changed is how quickly he agrees to whatever she wants. "Just don't do anything you'll regret." Okay, I've spent 33 years regretting not doing anything. He doesn't have a response for that. We say goodnight. At 11, lying in bed with the light off, my phone buzzes. Lauren again. "Mom said to tell you she'll save you a slice of cake." A slice of cake from a $12,000 party on my birthday that I wasn't invited to. She'll save me a slice. I stare at that text in the dark for a long time. Then I close my eyes. My sister offered me a slice of my own birthday. I decide to bake the whole thing myself. Saturday morning, I sit at my kitchen table with a notebook and a pen and do something I've never done in 33 years of living. I plan my own birthday. I call Marrow and Vine, a little farm-to-table place downtown with exposed brick and candles on every table. The kind of restaurant where the hostess remembers your name. I booked the back room for 15 people on Saturday, September 28th, 2 weeks after Lauren's party. Then I open my notebook and write guest names. Lee, my best friend since freshman year of college, the one who drove 4 hours to help me move into my apartment. Marco, my other closest friend, a high school art teacher who sends me a birthday text at midnight every single year without fail. Dana and Kev from the office. Bryn, of course. My cousins, Na and Tyler, who've always treated me like I matter, even when the rest of the family didn't. 11 names, 4 empty spots. I stare at the blank lines. Here's the thing about planning your own birthday at 33. You realize how much you've outsourced the question of what you actually want. I don't know what theme I'd pick. I don't know what kind of cake I like best when no one else is choosing for me. I've spent so many years adjusting to whatever Lauren wanted that I lost the shape of my own preferences. At 1 a.m., I'm still awake. I open my laptop and type "How to plan your own birthday party" into Google. The first result is a blog post titled "You Deserve to Celebrate Yourself." I read every word. I close the laptop, look at my guest list, 2 spots still blank. I don't know yet who will fill them, but I have a feeling life is about to decide for me. September 14th, my birthday. I order Thai food, pour a glass of wine, and put on a movie I've been meaning to watch for 6 months. The plan is simple. Don't check Instagram, don't think about the Ashford estate, don't think about 60 people toasting a birthday that's also mine. The plan lasts 40 minutes. My thumb opens Instagram before my brain can stop it. And there it is. Every story, every post, a highlight reel of Lauren's night. The venue glows with fairy lights strung across the ceiling. There's a cocktail bar with a neon sign that reads, Lauren's Flirty 30. A photo booth with gold props. A 3-tiered cake in blush and ivory, with Happy 30th Lauren scrawled across the middle tier in fondant cursive. My mother stands beside Lauren in a candid shot, arm around her waist, face beaming. The caption reads, My beautiful baby girl, so proud of you always. I scroll through 47 tagged posts. Cousins, friends, coworkers, aunts, uncles, and cousins. Not one of them mentions my name. Not one says, Happy birthday, Sienna, in the margins, or wish you were here. I don't exist in any frame of this party. I've been edited out. Not cropped, just never included. Bryn text read 10 p.m. Your mom told everyone at the party you sent your love but couldn't make it. Work deadline. I stare at that message. My mother invented a Sienna who sent warm wishes from her desk and chose of her own free will not to come. A Sienna who's fine with this. A Sienna who never picks up the phone and says, Why wasn't my name on the invitation? She didn't just erase me from the party, she built a ghost version of me who smiled and waved from far away so nobody would ask questions. 2 days later, my mother calls. She sounds like she's still floating on leftover champagne. The party was wonderful, honey. Lauren was so happy. I wish you could have been there. I grip my phone tighter. You told people I sent my wishes, Mom. Well, I assumed you would have. You assumed wrong. Silence. The floating stops. I can hear her recalibrating, cycling through her usual options. Deflect, minimize, redirect. She picks all 3. I don't know why you have to make everything about you, Sienna. This was Lauren's night. September 14th has been my night too, for 33 years. You're being dramatic. There it is, the word dramatic, the one she reaches for whenever I have the nerve to say something out loud instead of swallowing it. Then name one birthday party that was mine, Mom. Just mine. Nothing. She's quiet so long, I think the call dropped. But I can still hear her breathing, short, agitated little breaths, the kind that come right before she either cries or hangs up. I can't talk to you when you're like this, she says. The line goes dead. I set my phone on the counter. I don't throw it. I don't scream. I just stand there and listen to the silence in my kitchen and realize something that should hurt more than it does. My mother just hung up on me for asking why I wasn't invited to my own birthday, and she's the one who feels wronged. That's the trick. That's always been the trick. She turns any question into an attack, and suddenly I'm not the person who was excluded, I'm the person who ruined the mood. I don't call back, and this time I mean it. Greg calls that evening. His voice has the tired, sandpaper quality of a man who's been coached on what to say and doesn't quite believe any of it. Your mother is upset, sweetheart. About what, Dad? That I noticed or that I said something? He sighs. Can you just let this one go for the family? Which family? The one that forgot I exist? Nobody forgot you, Sienna. He stops. The sentence dies in his mouth because there's nowhere honest for it to go. What? It got complicated with the planning, and Lauren was so excited, and your mother... Another stop. He's building a bridge out of excuses and running out of planks. Dad, were you at the party? You know I was. Did you think about me even once while you were standing there on our birthday in a room full of people celebrating Lauren? He doesn't answer right away. When he does, his voice is smaller. I thought about you, but you didn't say anything. No. And you're calling me now to ask me to let it go? Just don't do anything you'll regret, okay? I've spent 33 years regretting not doing anything, Dad. He hangs up with a quiet, "Good night, sweetheart." I sit on my bed and open Instagram one more time. Greg's profile. He posted a photo from the party 2 hours ago. Him, Diane, and Lauren at the head table, all 3 smiling, cheeks pressed together. Caption, Proud dad, happy birthday to my baby girl. Baby girl, singular. My father didn't forget me. He stood in a room on my birthday, smiled for the camera, and chose the version of his family that was easier to hold. I close the app and pick up my guest list. You know, standing in my kitchen that night, holding my phone with my father's name still glowing on the screen, I want to pause and say something to you. If you've ever been told that wanting to be treated fairly makes you difficult or dramatic, you're not. You're just awake. If this story is hitting close to home, hit that subscribe button and leave a comment telling me, have you ever been the one they forgot to invite? I read every single one. Now, let me tell you what happened next, because that guest list is about to change everything. 2 days after the party, a message appears in my Instagram requests. The profile picture is a woman with a short bob and a tired half smile. The name reads Carly Webb. Hi, Sienna. You don't know me well, but I was Lauren's best friend for 8 years. I say was because Lauren cut me off 6 months ago. I saw what happened with the birthday. I know what it feels like to be erased by Lauren Bishop. If you ever want to talk, I'm here. I read it 3 times. Carly Webb. The name lands slowly, pulling up memories I didn't know I'd stored. She was at every Thanksgiving for years. She helped Lauren move apartments twice. She was in the family Christmas photo 3 years running. Then, about 6 months ago, Lauren announced that Carly had become toxic and obsessively jealous. My mother blocked Carly on every platform within the hour. Nobody questioned it. Nobody asked Carly's side. Lauren declared, Diane enforced, and Carly vanished. I remember my mother's voice at Easter dinner, waving her fork. That girl was never right. Lauren's better off. I didn't question it either. I was too used to the pattern. Lauren decides who belongs, and the rest of us go along. But now I'm staring at Carly's message, and 3 words are repeating in my head. Erased by Lauren. She didn't say dropped or ghosted. She said erased, the same word I used with Bryn 3 nights ago. That's not a coincidence. That's a pattern. I don't respond yet. I close the app and stare at my ceiling. My guest list sits on the nightstand. 2 blank lines. I don't know what Carly knows about my sister. I don't know why Lauren needed her gone so badly, but I'm starting to wonder, and wondering feels dangerous in a family that runs on not asking questions. The second crack shows up where I'm not looking for it. I'm at Maple Street Coffee on Thursday, waiting for my latte, when I run into Holly Park, a girl I knew in high school who now works in media buying. We do the usual catch-up, jobs, weather, mutual friends who got married or moved away. Then Holly tilts her head. How's Lauren doing? She's still at Belwick and Partners, right? She just got promoted, actually, senior account director. Holly's face does something subtle, a flicker of confusion quickly smoothed over. Huh, that's great. My friend Amy works in their office. She mentioned Lauren's desk had been empty for a while. Months, actually. I blink. Empty? Amy said she heard Lauren was let go, but I could totally be wrong. Maybe she transferred or went remote. Holly shrugs and sips her coffee. You know how office gossip is. I nod like it doesn't matter. I drive home with both hands tight on the steering wheel. Lauren told us she was promoted. She told my mother in a phone call that lasted 45 minutes. I know because Diane called me afterward, breathless, to relay every detail. Senior account director, Sienna, can you believe it? Your sister is doing so well. My mother sent flowers to Lauren's apartment. She offered to take Lauren shopping for professional wardrobe pieces. I keep replaying Holly's words. Her desk had been empty for months. Months. My mother threw a $12,000 party for a promotion that might not exist. I don't say anything to anyone. I don't call Lauren. I don't confront my mother. I just sit with it. This strange, heavy feeling that the portrait my family worships might be painted over something rotten. But I'm not sure yet, and I'm not the kind of person who accuses without knowing. I message Carly back on Friday. Let's get coffee. We meet at a place outside of town, far enough that nobody will recognize us and report back to my mother's intelligence network. Carly looks thinner than I remember. She orders black coffee and wraps both hands around the mug like she's holding on to something. I know about Belwick, I say. She looks up. Who told you? A friend of a friend. Empty desk. Months. Carly exhales like she's been holding her breath since the last time someone believed her. She was let go 4 months ago. Client performance metrics. Lauren had been inflating the numbers, padding reports so the campaigns looked more successful than they were. They fired her quietly. No press, no lawsuit, just gone. She told our family she got promoted. I know, I worked with someone from Belwick. When I found out, I called Lauren. Not to judge her. I swear, Sienna, I called because I was worried. I said, let me help you figure this out. And she cut you off within the hour, called your mother and told her I was spreading lies because I was jealous of her promotion. Your mom blocked me on everything, sent a message to our friend group. Carly is no longer welcome in this family. She takes a sip. Her hand shakes just slightly. Your sister doesn't lie because she's cruel, Carly says. She lies because she's terrified that without the title, without the success, your mother won't look at her the same way. I sit with that, because Carly just described the exact engine that's been running my family for 30 years. Diane's love isn't unconditional, it's a performance review. I didn't come to you for revenge, Carly says. I came because I thought you deserved to know that the person who erased you is also erasing herself. I pick up my guest list in my mind. Slot 1 just filled itself. The Sunday after the party, my mother hosts her usual family dinner. Roast chicken, mashed potatoes, the good china. I haven't been to a Sunday dinner in 3 weeks, since before the invitation. But today, I get in my car, drive the 20 minutes to my parents' house, and walk through the front door. I need to see it for myself, not through Instagram, not through Bryn's texts. I need to sit in that house and see how my family acts around me now. The living room is a shrine to Saturday night. Framed photos from the party are already on the mantle. Lauren and Diane, Lauren and her friends, Lauren cutting the 3-tiered cake. A poster-sized print of Lauren in her gold dress leans against the dining room wall, waiting to be hung. On the kitchen counter, a stack of thank you cards in Lauren's handwriting. I count the photos. 9 on the mantle. Not one includes me. Not one mentions that September 14th belongs to 2 daughters. Not one. My mother sees me from the kitchen doorway. Her smile freezes for exactly 1 second before she recovers. Sienna, what a surprise. I thought you were still buried in that deadline. No deadline, Mom, just my birthday weekend. Figured I'd spend it with family. She blinks, studies my face for sarcasm, finds none. I'm keeping it flat, neutral, unreadable. She pulls me into a hug that smells like roast chicken and Chanel No. 5. Well, you missed a beautiful party, she says, steering me toward the table. Everyone asked about you. What did you tell them? That you were swamped at work. They understood. She says it so smoothly, no hesitation, no guilt. She has repeated this lie so many times it has become, in her mind, indistinguishable from the truth. I take my seat at the table. Lauren isn't here yet, but the rest of the family is. Lauren arrives 20 minutes late, still glowing from the afterlife of her party. She walks in wearing the gold earrings Diane gave her at the venue. I know because I saw them in 14 different Instagram posts. She greets everyone with hugs and laughter, the entire room orbiting her like she's the sun. She sees me and stops for just a beat. Then the smile snaps back. Hey, Sienna, didn't think you'd make it today. Wouldn't miss family dinner. I sit across from her. My mother serves the roast and immediately begins the recap. Lauren, tell everyone about the photo booth, the one with the gold props. Lauren launches into a story. Uncle Dean laughs, Aunt Marlene nods along. The whole table leans toward Lauren like flowers tracking light. My mother pours wine and, mid-pour, says to the table, I wish Sienna could have been there, but our girl had a brutal deadline. You know how accountants are. Aunt Susan, sitting 2 chairs from me, has been quiet, watching. She turns to my mother. Wait, Diane, wasn't Sienna's birthday also the 14th? The table goes still for half a second. Not long, but I feel it. My mother laughs, a bright, practiced laugh. Oh, Sienna doesn't really do parties. She's always been more low-key, right, honey? Every face at the table turns to me. I can feel them waiting for me to nod along, to play the version my mother has written, the easy Sienna, the low-maintenance one. I do like parties, actually. I just haven't been invited to one in a while. Silence. Uncle Dean coughs. Lauren stares at her plate. My mother's smile hardens at the edges, like cooling wax. Aunt Susan looks from me to Diane, her expression shifting from confusion to something quieter, something like understanding. After dinner, my mother raises her glass. She's done this 1,000 times, the Bushup family toast. The little speech she gives whenever something special has happened in Lauren's life, a promotion, a new boyfriend, a birthday party that cost more than my car. I just want to say, she begins, her voice warm and rehearsed, how proud I am of this girl right here. She points her glass at Lauren. 30 years old, a career she built from the ground up, a senior account director at one of the best firms in the state. I think of Holly Park's words. Her desk has been empty for months, and I keep my face still. Lauren, you are the daughter who makes me proud every single day. Happy birthday, sweetheart. Everyone raises their glass. Happy birthday, Lauren. The words hang in the air like smoke. Not a syllable for me, not a belated happy birthday to Sienna, not even a footnote. I am sitting at this table on my birthday weekend, listening to my mother toast one daughter and pretend the other doesn't share the same date. Aunt Susan doesn't raise her glass right away. She waits, then she leans toward me, her voice low enough that only I can hear. Happy birthday, Sienna. I look at her. She's watching me with steady eyes, the kind of look that says, I see what's happening and I'm sorry. Thank you, Aunt Susan. You shouldn't have to be used to this. No, I shouldn't. She pats my hand under the table. It's a small thing, 2 seconds of human warmth from the only person in this room who said my name in the right context, but it cracks something open in my chest that I've been keeping sealed for 33 years. I don't cry. I just memorize the feeling because I'm going to need it for what comes next. Lauren catches me in the hallway on my way to the bathroom. She leans against the wall, arms crossed, blocking the path. What was that at the table? What was what? That comment about not being invited. You made Mom uncomfortable. Mom made me invisible, Lauren. I think she can handle a sentence. Lauren rolls her eyes, a habit she's had since she was 14. You were always invited, your family. If you wanted to come, you could have just said something. I wasn't on the invitation. The invitation was a formality with only your name on it. She shifts her weight, uncrosses her arms, crosses them again. She's losing the thread, and she knows it. Can you not make my birthday about you, just once? I'm not making anything about me. I'm standing in our parents' hallway on my birthday weekend at a dinner where Mom just toasted you without mentioning that we shared the same date. I didn't bring it up, Aunt Susan did. Lauren glances toward the dining room, then back at me. Her jaw tightens. You always do this. You sit there looking all sad and quiet until someone notices and feels bad. Do I? Yes. Then why did it take Aunt Susan to notice? Why not you? Why not Mom? She doesn't answer. Her mouth opens, closes. She pushes off the wall and calls toward the dining room. Mom, can you come here? I watch her walk away, and something settles inside me. Not anger, not sadness, clarity. This isn't between me and Lauren. It never has been. Lauren is playing a role she was cast in before she could talk. The director is in the kitchen loading the dishwasher, pretending she didn't hear a word. This was always between me and Diane. I leave before dessert. Nobody asks me to stay. My mother is in the kitchen talking to Lauren in a low, urgent voice. My father is clearing plates with the mechanical efficiency of a man who's learned that if his hands are busy, nobody expects him to speak. At the front door, Aunt Susan catches my arm. You okay? I will be. She presses my hand. Call me if you need anything. I drive home with the windows down. September air, still warm, edged with the first chill of fall. The radio plays something soft that I don't register. My mind is somewhere else. It's at my kitchen table, looking at a guest list with 2 blank lines. Inside my apartment, I open my laptop. The guest list is saved in a document I titled My Birthday, 2 words I've never put together without Lauren's name attached. I type into the first blank line, Carly Webb. I stare at the second, blank. In the outline, I'd planned to leave it open for whoever wants to come because they want to, not because they have to. I still like that idea. Some seats are better left empty than filled with obligation. I text Carly. My birthday party is September 28th at Marrow and Vine. Would you like to come? 3 minutes later, her reply. I'll bring the wine. I close my laptop, brush my teeth, lie in bed. I didn't invite Carly to punish Lauren. I invited her because she's the only person I've met in the last month who understands what it's like to be written out of Lawrence Bishop's story. She doesn't owe me loyalty. I don't owe her a platform. We're just 2 people who got erased by the same hand. But I had no idea what Carly would do at that party. No idea at all. September 28th. The back room at Marrow and Vine looks nothing like the Ashford estate. No fairy lights, no neon signs, no 3-tier cake. Just a long wooden table with mismatched candles, mason jars stuffed with wildflowers, and a handwritten menu propped against a bottle of olive oil. It's perfect. It's mine. Lee arrives first, carrying a wrapped box and wearing the flannel jacket she's had since college. Marco's behind her with a bag of party hats he found at a dollar store. Ridiculous, shiny gold ones that say, Birthday Queen. Dana and Kev come together straight from the office, still in work clothes. Bryn walks in carrying a cake box balanced on both palms like it's radioactive. She sets it on the table and opens the lid. White buttercream, simple piping, and written across the top in blue frosting. Just Sienna. Finally. I stare at those 3 words for 5 full seconds. My throat tightens. Bryn watches my face. Too much? It's exactly right. Na and Tyler show up together. Tyler already wearing one of Marco's gold hats. The room fills with noise, chairs scraping, coats piling on hooks, someone ordering the first bottle of red. 15 people. No photo booth, no DJ, no cocktail bar with someone's name in neon. Then the door opens one more time. Carly Webb steps inside, a bottle of Pinot Noir in one hand and a nervous half smile on her face. She scans the room like she's not sure she belongs. I cross the floor and hug her. She stiffens for a second, then softens. Happy birthday, Sienna. Thank you for coming. Thank you for inviting me. For the first time in 33 years, every person at my birthday party is here because they chose to be. Nobody was guilted, nobody was obligated, nobody is performing. Every candle on that cake is mine. Dinner is roasted chicken and root vegetables, family style. The wine flows, the room gets louder, and then Lee stands up, tapping her glass with a fork. I have something to say. The table quiets. Lee is 5'2" with a voice that could fill a stadium. When I was 20 years old, my car broke down on I-90 in the middle of a snowstorm, 11 p.m., -4 degrees. I called Lee. She didn't ask questions. She drove 3 hours in the dark to pick me up. 3 hours in a blizzard because I called. She turns to me. That's the kind of person you are. And the fact that it took 33 years for someone to throw you a party that's actually yours is a crime. The table erupts. Marco lifts his glass. Hear, hear. Dana goes next. She doesn't stand, just talks from her seat, the way people do when emotion sneaks up on them. Sienna remembered that my daughter had strep last March. She showed up at my house with homemade soup and a coloring book. Nobody at work noticed my kid was sick. Sienna noticed. Kev, I covered my audit last year when my dad was in the hospital. Didn't tell anyone, didn't want credit. I found out 3 weeks later. Story after story. Small ones, quiet ones, the kind that never make it into a mother's toast because they don't come with a title or a salary bump. They're just evidence of a person who shows up reliably, quietly, without fanfare. I sit at the head of the table and let it wash over me. My eyes sting, but I keep them dry. This is the version of me that my family never saw. These people drew a portrait of Sienna Bishop that Diane never bothered to look at. Then Carly stands up and the room goes still. Carly holds her glass with both hands. She doesn't look nervous anymore. She looks like someone who's been waiting 6 months to say something true out loud. I haven't known Sienna long, she begins. Her voice is steady, measured. But I know what it's like to be cut out by someone you trusted. I know what it feels like to be told you're the problem when all you did was tell the truth. She pauses, takes a breath. I spent 8 years being loyal to someone who dropped me the moment I became inconvenient, the moment I saw something I wasn't supposed to see. And when I tried to help, when I tried to say, hey, this isn't right, I was erased, blocked, rewritten as the villain. She pauses, takes a breath. Sienna is different. She doesn't need to inflate a title to feel important. She doesn't need to fabricate a story to be interesting. She doesn't need to silence a friend to protect an image. I feel the air shift. Bryn's phone is out, pointed at Carly. Not performatively, instinctively, the way you record something you know matters. So here's to Sienna Bishop. Carly raises her glass. A woman who doesn't need a $12,000 venue to prove she's worth celebrating. A woman who has never pretended to be something she's not to deserve a seat at the table. She locks eyes with me. Happy birthday, Sienna. 15 glasses rise. The clink ripples down the table like a small wave. Carly didn't say Lauren's name. She didn't mention Belwick. She didn't expose a single secret. She just told the truth about who Sienna is and, by contrast, sketched the outline of who Lauren isn't. That toast was a mirror, not a bomb. But mirrors can be devastating when someone's been hiding from their own reflection. The party ends at 10 o'clock. I walk the last guest to the door, hug everyone twice, and drive home with the leftover cake on my passenger seat. The apartment is quiet. I set the cake in the fridge, wash my face, and sit on the edge of my bed, feeling something I haven't felt in a long time. Full. Not from dinner, but from being seen. My phone buzzes at 11:30. Bryn. Lauren just called me. She saw Na's story. She's losing it. I open Instagram. Na posted a clip of Carly's toast, just the last 30 seconds, the part about the $12,000 venue and not needing to pretend. It has 47 views. One of them is Lauren. She's watched it 4 times. I can see the view count ticking. 12:15. A second message from Bryn. Your mom called Lauren. Now Lauren's calling everyone asking what Carly said. She's spiraling. 45. Lauren views Bryn's story, a photo of the cake with just Sienna, finally. Lauren screenshots it. 1 a.m. My mother's name lights up my phone. I stare at it until it stops ringing. She doesn't leave a voicemail. 1:30. Lauren starts texting me directly, rapid fire, no punctuation. Why is Carly at your party? What did she tell you? You don't know the full story, Sienna. She's a liar, and you're playing right into it. Call me right now. I read every message. I don't reply. I set my phone face down on the nightstand. The apartment is dark and quiet. I think about my mother's toast at the Ashford estate, the daughter who makes me proud every single day. I think about Carly's toast at Marrow and Vine, a woman who has never pretended. At 2 a.m., my phone rings again. Lauren Bishop. This time, I pick up. Okay, I need to pause here for just a second. That phone is ringing at 2 a.m., and before I tell you what my sister said, I want to ask you something real. Have you ever set a boundary and watched someone completely unravel because you finally stopped being convenient? Tell me in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time, because what Lauren says next, you won't want to miss it. Let's keep going. How dare you? That's how she opens. No hello, no preamble, just volume. How dare you invite that woman to your party? Do you have any idea what she's been saying about me? I sit up in bed, keep my voice level. She didn't say your name, Lauren. Everyone knows it's about me. Inflate a title? Fabricate a story? She's trying to destroy me. Is she? Or is she just describing what happened? Silence. 5 seconds. I can hear Lauren's breath, ragged, sharp, the sound of someone whose armor just cracked and the air is getting in. You don't know what you're talking about, she says, lower now, controlled. Then tell me. I keep my voice steady. Are you still working at Belwick? The line goes quiet, not silent. I can hear her swallow. I can hear the creak of a chair. The kind of quiet happens when someone realizes the question they were most afraid of has arrived. That's none of your business. You're right, it's not. Just like my birthday wasn't any of yours. That's different, is it? You threw a party on a day we share and didn't invite me. And now you're calling me at 2 in the morning because someone at my party said something that made you uncomfortable? So let me ask you, Lauren, who's making whose birthday about themselves? Nothing. Just breathing. Then her voice cracks, not with anger, but with something raw. Fear. Sienna, please don't. Don't what? She can't finish the sentence. She doesn't know what she's asking me not to do because I haven't done anything. I had a birthday party. I invited a friend. That friend gave a toast. That's it. Good night, Lauren. I hang up, set the phone down, don't turn it back over. The $12,000 party is already a distant memory. Sunday morning, 9:15. My mother's name on my phone. She's been crying. I can tell before she says a word, that wet, fractured quality in her breathing. The way she pauses between syllables like she's performing grief for an audience of one. Greg is devastated. She hasn't stopped crying all night. How could you do this to your sister? What did I do, Mom? I had a birthday party. You invited that woman. You know Carly is trying to hurt Lauren. Carly is a guest at my party. Lauren had 60 guests at hers. I had 15. One of them bothered Lauren. That's the problem. The problem is you're trying to punish this family. I close my eyes, count to 3, open them. The problem is this family spent $12,000 on a party on my birthday and didn't think to include me. And when I said something, you told me I was being dramatic. You said we can only afford one party. You told the family I was busy with work. You told Aunt Susan I don't enjoy family events. You gave a toast to one daughter and forgot the other one was sitting at the table. I did not forget you, Sienna. Then why didn't you say my name once? Just once. The crying stops. The line goes cold. When she speaks again, her voice has that tight, brittle quality, the one that means she's done being the victim and is switching to the general. I can't talk to you when you're like this. You've never talked to me at all, Mom. That's the point. I hang up. 10 minutes later, a text from Greg. Your mother is very upset. Can you please apologize so we can move past this? I read it twice. Then I put my phone in a drawer and go make breakfast. Greg shows up at my apartment that afternoon without calling first. He stands on the doorstep in his weekend jacket, hands in his pockets, looking at the welcome mat like it owes him an explanation. I let him in, pour 2 cups of coffee. We sit at the kitchen table. He doesn't start right away. He holds the mug with both hands and stares at the steam. Then, I know we haven't been fair to you, sweetheart. Then why didn't you say anything? At the party, on the phone, ever? He runs his thumb along the rim of the cup. Because I was afraid your mother would. He stops, starts over. Because it was easier not to. Easier for who? For me. He looks up. His eyes are red at the edges. I'm sorry, Sienna. I let the apology sit. I don't rush to accept it. I don't brush it off. I let it take up space at the table the way it should have years ago. I don't need you to fight Mom, Dad. I just needed you to see me. He nods slowly. His gaze drifts to the refrigerator door. A photo strip from a drugstore booth. Me at 10 years old, grinning at the camera in a too small Cinderella dress. I forgot it was there. He didn't. I see you now, he says quietly. I should have seen you a long time ago. Yeah, you should have. We sit with the silence. It's not comfortable, but it's honest. And honest is an improvement over everything that came before. He finishes his coffee. At the door, he turns back. For what it's worth, that cake Bryn made, just Sienna, that made me think about how many years I let it be just Lauren. He walks to his car. I close the door. I don't feel healed, but I feel heard. And right now, that's enough. That night, I sit at my laptop and type the hardest message I've ever written. Not because the words are complicated, but because they're simple. And simple truths are the ones my family has spent 33 years avoiding. I open our family group chat. Diane, Greg, Lauren, me, and type. I love this family, but I'm done pretending that being overlooked is the same as being loved. I'm not asking for apologies. I'm telling you what I need going forward. I need to be treated like I exist, not as Lauren's older sister, not as the one who's low-key or busy with work, as Sienna. If that's too much, then we need space. This isn't a punishment. This is me choosing myself for the first time. I read it 4 times, delete nothing, hit send. The message sits in the chat, read by all 3 for 2 hours without a reply. My apartment is quiet. I make tea, watch the leaves change color through my window, wait without expecting. At 9, Bryn texts me privately. I'm proud of you. 9:15, Nina. A single red heart. 9:30, Tyler. About time, cuz. At 11, Lauren replies in the group chat, "This is so unfair. You're making me the villain when I haven't done anything wrong." I read her message. I don't reply. There's nothing to say to someone who looks at 33 years of imbalance and sees herself as the injured party. That's not a conversation. That's a wall. My mother never responds in the group chat. Not that night, not the next day, not the day after. But Greg sends me a private message at midnight. 4 words, no punctuation, no emoji, just the bare minimum of acknowledgement from a man who is learning slowly that silence has a cost. I hear you, Sienna. It's not enough, but it's a start. The cracks spread quietly, the way they always do in families. Not an explosion, a slow leak. That week, Aunt Susan calls Diane. Why did Sienna say she wasn't invited to the party? You told me she had a work deadline. I hear about this from Bryn, who hears it from Nina, who was on the phone with Susan's daughter. The family grapevine, the same network that carried Diane's cover story, is now carrying the correction. Diane fumbles. She tells Susan it was a miscommunication and that Sienna overreacted. Susan doesn't push, but she doesn't let it go either. She tells her husband, he tells his brother, and by Wednesday, 3 branches of the Bishop family are quietly discussing whether Diane really forgot to invite her older daughter to her own birthday. The second crack hits at a weekend gathering at Uncle Dean's house. Tyler, bless him, asked Lauren the question no one has dared to ask out loud. So how's the new promotion treating you? Senior account director, right? That's huge. Lauren picks at her salad. It's been great, really busy. What's the biggest account you're running? I can't really talk about client stuff, NDAs. Tyler nods, but his eyes narrow. He's an engineer. He knows when someone's answering a question they weren't asked instead of the one they were. Bryn texts me that night. People are starting to connect dots. Carly gets cut off, Lauren won't talk about work, you get excluded from your own birthday. Nobody's saying it out loud yet, but the questions are piling up. I don't respond with satisfaction. I don't feel triumphant. I just feel the strange, flat exhaustion of watching a structure you always knew was fragile finally start to lean. I didn't push any dominoes. I just stopped holding them up. 2 weeks later, Lauren blocks me on every platform: Instagram, Facebook, even LinkedIn, which feels oddly professional for a family meltdown. Bryn becomes my window. She's not doing great, Bryn says carefully. The mutual friends are asking questions about Carly, about Belwick. She can't keep the story straight anymore. I don't ask for details. I don't need them. The weight of a lie isn't in the telling, it's in the maintaining. And Lauren has been maintaining hers for 4 months while performing a version of success that requires constant upkeep. It was always going to collapse. I just happened to stop propping up the stage. Then on a Tuesday afternoon, my mother calls. Her voice is different. Not crying, not sharp, just flat, tired. "What is going on with your sister's job, Sienna?" That's Lauren's story to tell, Mom, not mine. "But you know something." I pause. I could say nothing, I could deflect, but I've spent 33 years swallowing the truth to keep the peace, and the peace was always a lie anyway. "I know that you spent $12,000 on a party for a daughter who told you she'd just been promoted, and I also know you didn't spend a cent on the daughter who actually showed up every day, paid her own bills, and never once asked you for anything." The silence stretches. I can hear her kitchen clock ticking through the phone. "That's not fair, Mom." "No, Mom, it's not." She doesn't hang up this time. She just breathes. And in that breathing, I hear something I've never heard from Diane Bishop before. Not guilt, not performance, not the careful calculation of how to spin this. Just a woman sitting alone in her kitchen, realizing that the story she told herself about her family doesn't match the one that's actually true. She says, "I'll call you later," and hangs up softly. No click, just a quiet fade. Carly texts me on a Thursday evening. No preamble, just, "3 people from our friend group reached out this week. They said they're sorry for believing Lauren without asking me." I call her. She picks up on the first ring. "How does it feel?" She laughs, short, dry, the kind of laugh that's half relief and half exhaustion. "Honestly, I thought it would feel better. One of them, Melissa, she said she should have asked for my side, and all I could think was, yeah, you should have, 6 months ago, before I spent half a year wondering if I was the crazy one." You're not the crazy one. I know that now, but knowing it and feeling it are different timelines. We talked for an hour, not about Lauren, not about Belwick, about normal things: her job, my job, a restaurant she tried last weekend, a book I'm reading. The kind of conversation 2 people have when they're building something new instead of recovering from something old. Before she hangs up, Carly says, "Lauren called me yesterday." "She did?" "She didn't apologize. She asked if I told you about Belwick. That was it. No, how are you? No, I'm sorry I lied about you to everyone we know. Just, did you tell Sienna?" "What did you say?" "I said I didn't need to. The truth doesn't need a spokesperson." I smile at that. It's the first time in weeks that a smile doesn't come laced with something bitter. The next morning, Carly sends me a photo. 2 coffee cups on a cafe table. Morning light through a window. Caption, "First coffee date as actual friends, not just co-survivors of a Bishop sister." I saved the photo. Something is growing in the gap where my family used to be. Quieter, smaller, but real. And real is all I've ever wanted. November. The leaves outside my apartment window have turned the color of old pennies. The air smells like wood smoke and cold rain. Things have changed. Not dramatically, not in the ways you'd see in a movie, just quietly, the way real change happens. I talk to my mother less. Not zero. I'm not punishing her with silence. I just stopped filling the gaps she used to leave empty. She calls on Sundays still, but now the calls are shorter. She asks about work. She says, "That's nice," when I tell her about a client's case. She doesn't mention Lauren's promotion anymore. I think we both know why. Greg calls me every Thursday evening. Short calls, 10 minutes, sometimes less. He asks about my week, tells me about the yard work, mentions a documentary he watched. He doesn't try to mediate for Diane anymore. He doesn't say, "Your mother is upset." He just talks to me like a father talking to his daughter. And I realize this might be the first time he's done that without an agenda. Lauren hasn't spoken to me since the 2 a.m. call. She blocked me on everything. Bryn says Lauren finally told Diane the truth about Belwick, that there was no promotion, that she'd been fired, that she'd spent 4 months pretending. According to Bryn, Diane didn't take it well. I don't feel vindicated. I thought I might, that there'd be some surge of satisfaction when the truth caught up, but there isn't. There's just a dull ache for a sister I never really had, and a mother who was only now learning that the pedestal she built for one daughter left the other standing in the cold. I didn't burn any bridges. I just stopped crossing the ones that only went in one direction, and for the first time, the view from my side of the river looks okay. The call comes on a Wednesday. No special occasion, no holiday, just a random November afternoon. "I owe you an apology, Sienna." I set down my pen. I've been doing quarterly reports at my kitchen table. The light is gray and even through the window. I say nothing. I wait. I don't know when I started making everything about Lauren. Her voice is different, stripped of the usual production quality, the careful phrasing, the built-in defense. It sounds like a woman talking to herself and accidentally dialing someone else. I think I was so scared of losing her that I forgot I was losing you. You didn't forget, Mom. A sharp intake of breath, but she doesn't push back. She doesn't say, "That's not fair," or "I can't talk to you when you're like this." She just sits in it. "I know," she says, "and I'm sorry." The words land. I let them. I don't rush to say it's okay, because it's not okay. Not yet. Maybe not for a long time. 33 years of being second doesn't dissolve in a single phone call, no matter how sincere. "Thank you for saying that," I tell her. It doesn't fix 33 years, but it's a start. She cries quietly, without the theatrical edge I'm used to. This isn't the crying she does to end arguments. This is the crying that comes when you finally hear yourself say something you've been avoiding. "I'm not going anywhere, Mom, but things have to be different. Actually different. Not, I'll try harder. Different." "Different," she repeats softly. "I know." Then, "Lauren told me about Belwick last week. The real story." "I knew you didn't." "How long did you know?" "Long enough to know it wasn't mine to tell." She's quiet after that. When she hangs up, she says, "I love you, Sienna." She says my name like she's learning it for the first time. Late November. I'm sitting at my kitchen table on a Saturday morning, coffee in hand, sunlight cutting through the window in long diagonal lines. The apartment is quiet, not the heavy quiet of being left out, but the light quiet of choosing peace. I look at the calendar on the wall. September of next year is already gridded out in faint blue lines. I pick up a pen and write on September 14th in neat block letters, my birthday. No dash, no "and Lauren," no shared billing, just mine. On the counter, my phone is open to a photo from September 28th. 15 people crowded around a table at Marrow and Vine, candles flickering, wine glasses raised, Bryn's cake front and center, white frosting, blue letters, 3 words, "Just Sienna, finally." I'm in the middle of the frame, not standing at the edge, not cropped, not footnoted, center. I text Carly, "Same time next year." Her reply comes fast, "I'll bring the speech." I smile, set the phone down, finish my coffee. I don't know what happens next with my family. Diane is trying, awkwardly, imperfectly, the way someone tries to use a muscle they haven't moved in decades. Greg calls every week. Lauren is still silent, still blocked, still somewhere in the middle of reckoning with the gap between who she pretended to be and who she is. Maybe she'll come around, maybe she won't. I can't control that. I never could. I spent 33 years waiting for a seat at someone else's table, waiting for my name on an invitation, for a toast, a candle, a single moment where someone in my family looked at me and said, "You matter just as much." Turns out, I was always allowed to build my own table, and the chair at the head, it fits perfectly. And that's my story. I didn't get revenge. I got a birthday party, my own, with my own people, for the first time in 33 years. If you've ever been the one they forgot, the one they wrote out of the story, I hope this reminds you you're allowed to celebrate yourself without waiting for permission. If the story meant something to you, subscribe and share it with someone who needs to hear it today. There are more stories like this in the description. Click one and keep going. And tell me in the comments, what was the moment you stopped waiting?